Hello and happy new day. I'm Barbara de Engel and I'm excited to be picking tarot cards for every single star sign for the week that lies ahead. I'm also super excited to announce that I'll be giving away 3 free readings to lucky viewers. If you'd like to stand a chance to win a free reading with me, well then, watch the video carefully and make a note of which star sign receives the Fool as the first card. That's the clue. Enter the name of the star sign that receives the Fool in the comment box and then like and share. Please remember, you only stand a chance to win a free reading if you like, share, and put the name of the star sign that receives the Fool card in the comment box. Aries, here are your cards for the week that lies ahead. You may have been feeling really bored and struggling with the confines of the lockdown situation. And because of that, you may find that you just want to stir things up and get things going so your energy can at least have a direction. The Three of Wands here suggests that while you want to get things going, you also need to make sure that you have an understanding of where you want to take this energy to. The Devil card here suggests that while you want to get things moving, remember there are no shortcuts. You've got to have a clear plan and you need to use your mind carefully because the Ace of Swords is the first card. When it comes up reverse, says your thinking might be flawed, you might be in too much of a hurry. So if you see the cards are saying, yes, you want to get things moving along and you are scared you're going to lose your cutting edge, remember that your ability to connect to other people defines how the future is going to evolve for you. So connect with people, but do everything properly. Remember, energy must have a focused mind, otherwise something's going to be forgotten and you could end up in a trap of your own making because you were too lazy to do the right thing. Don't fall into that trap, Aries. Have a good week. Taurus, here are your cards for the week that lies ahead. Card number 1, the King of Cups. And whenever the King of Cups comes along as a first card, it says, you've been doing good work, you've been behaving properly, you've been looking after everything and everybody properly, which is really nice to see. Unfortunately, the next card, the Ace of Wands reverse, suggests that the things that you want to do are going to take longer. The Ace of Wands is the beginning card. When it's upside down, it says the beginning's not going to happen as you hope it would. So you might find that your mood takes a dip when you realize there's something that you can't get moving right now, but don't lose heart. The King of Cups comes from the heart. Don't lose heart. The third card, the Knight of Swords, is a card that says you've got to get your mind thinking clearly. The Knight of Swords says we're going to move things along, but remember, you have to look at where you come from so that you can decide where you want to be going. So there's going to be a little bit of things to think about, and you must remember too that the World cards suggest that there are cycles as well as limitations. You know, a cycle cannot continue forever. It eventually, like a season, comes to an end. And the World here suggests that the delays that have been frustrating you or that could frustrate you this week may soon resolve as long as you remember that you are confined by circumstances. The lockdown is making life difficult for everybody, but don't lose heart. Your ability to move ahead depends on thinking clearly and creating a plan of action for yourself. I hope you have a good week. Gemini, here are your cards for the week. 9 of Cups. This is a nice card to have because that suggests you've been feeling quite okay with how you've been doing under the lockdown situation. You kind of are making peace with the situation. You can accept it. There's some things you can do, some things you can do well, some things you can't touch right now. And the next card, the Hermit reversed, suggests that you may not want to be doing so much on your own. You might be feeling that you want to open up and connect with people and maybe have a gathering or something. So allow yourself to keep in touch with the people that are important to you. The third card for you, Gemini, is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups suggests that your emotions are going to be quite strong this week. And it can be really nice, or it can drive you crazy because you just want to put your heart into things, but there may also be many things that you have to attend to. And if you want to have a spare moment to yourself to think, well, there might be too much to do for that. So remember that instead of feeling that you're so bogged down, you've got so much to do, there's no opportunity for you, everybody else is moving on and you aren't. Remember, this is a temporary phase, and that if you focus on what you're good at and keep your heart in everything that you do, attend to everything carefully and caringly. And no, you don't have to be wishy-washy, Gemini, but you do have to remember that if you don't harness your emotional energy, you could find that you close some doors to yourself, and that's not the goal. So the cards are suggesting that while things went well last week, you can't compare this week to last week, but in the week that comes, remember that there are things that you can't always do on your own. So adapt and draw everybody that you can into your plans and see how you can create a more cooperative atmosphere around you. I hope that helps you have a really good week. Cancer, here are your cards for the week that lies ahead. Well, the first card that comes up is the Eight of Swords. And you've probably been feeling really stuck and confined and limited and maybe even really scared of the dangers of the COVID virus and how it impacts on your ability to keep things moving. So the Eight of Swords suggests that while the challenges may be there, you don't always need to take them to heart as deeply as you tend to. The next card, the Ten of Swords, is a card that suggests that you may be finding it really difficult to trust in the processes of life. Previously, you may have trusted that things would work out the way that you feel they should, but the Ten of Swords here suggests that it's just very difficult for you to trust anything that's coming your way. So if you tend to go through social media and look for all the latest developments, the Ten of Swords suggests that maybe you just need to back off because you might not like what you're finding out there, and it may not always be true and relatable for you. The next card, the Justice card, is the card that suggests you need to be fair. You need to be fair to yourself. You need to be fair to the situation. And you perhaps need to stop putting so much pressure on yourself to do things perfectly. Now, that's not always easy for you because you really are a very caring person, and the way that you do things is very important to you. So the cards are saying just sit tight. As things change, because they will change, you will find that you move towards a happier outcome. So whenever you find yourself getting stuck in the bad news, look at the good news, the good things around you, and count your blessings, because you'll help them to grow, and you could end up having a really good week. Leo, here are your cards for the week that lies ahead. The first card is the Seven of Pentacles reversed. And this card always comes up when you kind of like betwixt and between. You know there's work to do. You're not sure if it's going to have an impact. You're not sure if you really want to do it. So you may find yourself moving into this week with not quite an open mind, but a thought of, kind of like, here we go again. What else are we going to have to do? And the next card, the Six of Swords, is a card that suggests that whatever you do, even if you're not doing anything, make sure that you make the best of it. This could be a time where you can just heal yourself and readjust your noisy motorbike, readjust your vision and readjust the way perhaps that you work so that you can find a bit more balance and quietness in your everyday environment. The third card here the Page of Pentacles suggests that you might have been thinking that in order to do something, you need to know something more. And the Page of Pentacles always suggests that you need to look at all the things that you need, the resources, the money, the opportunities, the people. So it can indicate starting to look at the potential of something else while you're looking at what else you still have to do. There's also a probability that you'll be looking at something new, but in order to get that going, you'll need to do a little bit of homework first. The Priestess card is a card that says whatever you need to look for, there might not always be the exact kind of information or resources available to you. So she says, just remember, good things take time to develop, and you will need to collect more information before you can see the path that lies ahead. So this week may be maybe not as busy on the outer levels, but it could be very busy investigating and finding out things that will help you to prepare for something else that you want to be doing. I hope that helps you have a good week. Virgo, here are your cards for the week. Now, the Four of Cups is a card that says we're kind of just like focused on where we are and what's not great and what's not working. And if you've been finding the lockdown situation of the COVID virus really limiting, then this card suggests that, yes, while there are realities you need to focus on, you also need to remember that every situation where you focus on the negatives, there's always something positive, and you might not have been noticing that. So this card says stay focused on the things that are good, as well as being aware of the things that are out there. You know, Virgo people can be quite critical, and you can think yourself into a really bad mood when you focus on the bad news and what's wrong. So harness the power of your mind instead and start looking at how you can start to create or move towards new developments. And I know that you've probably been thinking that a new development, something new is not possible for you, but this card here, the Ace of Pentacles reverse, says this is temporary. Things will change, but there's still going to need to be some effort put in, and some things still need to happen. So I hope that you can see that patience is actually not just a little girl with a dirty face, but a real virtue worth cultivating. And the star here suggests that it's a very good time for you to focus on opening up your life in some way and looking for the bigger picture. So where the first card says you're focusing on what's wrong, stepping out, looking at the bigger picture and focusing on the blessings can only be good for you. It can actually be very soothing for your soul. The Two of Wands here suggests that there may be some opportunities or some news of new openings coming up to you. So keep an open mind, work on those ideas, stay open to new developments, because things are likely to change pretty soon for you in your environment. Some new information is likely to come your way that will help you change your perspective. So make the best of your week. Focus on the positives. Libra, here are your cards for the week that lies ahead. The Fool card has come up for you as the first card, and whenever the Fool comes up, Libra, it suggests that you've been thinking quite seriously about some kind of new start. Maybe you want to sweep away old issues, maybe you want to do something different, but this card suggests that you're standing at the beginning of a new week with a far more open mind than the people around you. However, the difference may be where, while you have an open mind, the lockdown situation might just remind you of what you can't do. And so this could kind of be like, trying to light a fire with a wet matchstick. You trying to make the spark, but it's just not taking off. The next card here, the Five of Cups, is a card that suggests you need to be very careful. This card can symbolize depression or feeling down about something. So if you are looking at what you can't do, this could bring you down. But the Fool says, remember, you need to be optimistic and look at what you can do, because there's very often something that you can do, but you might not be noticing it. The Magician, reversed as the outcome card, suggests that you may be wondering how on earth you're going to marshal all your resources and put something together. So when he's reversed, as well as the Six of Wands, it suggests that whatever plans you come up with, there might be some more homework to do before you can actually look at things and in fairness say, I've got everything I need in order to be moving ahead. So while the week may feel like it's just like a stop-start week, you should find that if you make the best of the stop days, you'll be able to do a lot of homework and preparation that will stand you in good stead for the week that lies ahead. Scorpio, here are the cards for your week that lies ahead. The first card is the Knight of Pentacles, and whenever this card comes up, it suggests that you've been looking at what you can do with what you have now. And sometimes, as you see, the Knight is looking at the money. The first place people start to look at when the Knight of Pentacles comes up is, what can we afford to do and what can't we afford to do? So if you've been thinking about refining your life or setting a better budget or something to do with finances or business, the Knight of Pentacles says you're going to take your time and you're going to do it thoroughly, and you're going to do it properly. This is the card of doing things properly. The next card, the Four of Pentacles, suggests that when you start looking at the financial situation, you might find that it looks a lot worse than what you thought it would. But the Four of Pentacles says it's not ever lost. It just maybe requires you to be more stern with your austerity measures. So yes, setting a budget might be a little bit stricter than what you thought it would be. And the people around you who may have to work with this may be a bit unhappy with this. So you might find that you encounter some opposition from your family or even your colleagues who want to do this or that, and you say, no, we have to stick within the budget of both time, effort, and financial resources. So the Nine of Wands suggests that it's not going to be easy, so be prepared. This week might bring some unexpected challenges, but you know you're up to that. The way that you deal with them, though, is important, because you can't give in to your old negative traits, because this will certainly push people away. And if you want a happy outcome, which the Sun says is certainly likely, then you need to perhaps just change your strategy and be a little bit more tolerant and compassionate towards everybody, yourself included, so that you can work together with people to create the happy outcome that you'd like for the week. Sagittarius, here are the cards I picked for you for the week that lies ahead. First card is the King of Swords. Now, Sagittarians, being mental people, you are in your element when the King of Swords comes along, because it says you're thinking clearly, you can see further than everybody else. It does make you a bit of a know-it-all and a pain in the backside. So remember, while you may think you know better than everybody else, the King of Swords says, remember, the way that you speak to people will either get them on your side or push them away. And the King of Swords says, you'll have to think about how you're going to bring your ideas across in a way that people will listen and not just tune you out. The next card, the Six of Cups, is a really nice card. As you can see, everybody's quite happy. So you may find that if you have the right attitude to how you communicate, you can actually get on really well with everybody around you, and they might even like you. The next card, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, is a card that speaks about your financial and family resources, but it's come up reversed. So it's quite possible that you may have to discuss with the family some extra limitations to the way of life that you've been trying to maintain, and somebody might feel rather left out. So ensure that the discussion is fair, that it gives everybody a chance to say what they need to say, and then you need to act as a chairman to get everybody to understand what's really happening and see how each person can contribute so that nobody feels left out, not only of the strategy, but of the outcome as well. The last card here is the Four of Swords, which suggests that this might be quite a heavy week for you. And the Four of Swords always speaks about taking a bit of a rest. So once you've had the discussion with people, the uncomfortable discussions, just let it go, Make sure that there's a break, some happy activity that everybody can share, and just slow down, Sometimes a serious situation like the lockdown is not always going to be fixed by putting pressure on yourself and other people, but sometimes you just need to adapt and accept where you are and just make the best of your circumstances, because things are likely to change fairly soon. And if you maintain a good attitude in your little kingdom, things might work out very well for you. Capricorn, here are the cards I've picked for you for the week that lies ahead. The King of Wands is your first card, and this is a really nice card to have because it says that you'll start the week with plenty of energy and drive. You are just in the right place at the right time to express your energy correctly and efficiently. And the Queen of Pentacles is the next card here. This could be a happily married couple or people that are working well together. But the message for you from the Queen of Pentacles suggests that you have to pay attention to the body, the diet, the exercise, as well as the finances, the food you eat, and how everybody's doing things. So if you've been thinking that you maybe aren't as perfect as what you could be, this week is going to just bring out everything in your power to make things work more efficiently. And it needn't be a time of pressure. In fact, you're so practical when you do things, this could almost be like a piece of cake for you. The next card, the Ace of Cups, suggests that there's a way that when your energy is working correctly, it kind of like makes you feel happy with where you are. It brings out your sense of joy and wonder and awe in not only the world, but things you can do and the people that you do it with and for. So these are really happy cards to have. And the last card, the Three of Pentacles, this is the card that symbolizes Capricorn for me because it's the card of the craftsman. And I don't know if you're a hobbies kind of person or a practical kind of person, but this card always suggests rolling your sleeves up and getting stuck into a new project. So whether you do it yourself stuff at home, or you want to can some vegetables for the winter, or whether you want to start preparing for something that you want to do in your career, these cards are all saying you're likely to have a very good and a very productive week. So go ahead and enjoy it. Make it a great one for yourself and your family. Aquarius, here are the cards I've picked for your week that lies ahead. The first card is the Chariot card reversed. Well, Aquarius, if you were hoping to move ahead in some way, the Chariot says it ain't going to happen as quickly as what you think. Well, of course, you're dealing with the COVID-19 lockdown. You're dealing with financial issues. You're dealing with the economy that's gone a little bit crazy. So remember, you can bash your head against a brick wall, or you can just remind yourself that things are going to take time and adapt to this with the best possible attitude. The next card is the Four of Wands reversed, and this card suggests that, yes, you might not like where you are. You might be feeling really suffering from cabin fever, feeling like you just can't do anything, but it's a lot to do with attitude as well. The Wands cards always say that there's always an energetic input into everything that you do. So even if you feel stuck, Aquarius, don't let it make you nasty or snappish or impossible to be with, because then you're going to find yourself cut out of a lot of happiness. The next card is the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles reversed is a card that says there's definitely work to be done, but none of what you want to do is something that you can do on your own. So this is going to force perhaps a rethink as to how you tackle things. Because even if you feel you're getting stuck, just talk to somebody and say, I'm actually feeling really stuck. Can you help me get out of this rut? So don't be too proud to ask for help, and don't be too proud to admit that you are frustrated, and your frustration isn't going to help anybody. But by being stuck in thinking about how frustrated you are, that will slow you down. The last card is the Three of Cups, and that's the card of your friends. So the message of the cards for you for this week is, no matter how you're feeling, you can always make it better by connecting with other people in the right frame of mind. And this could bring a happier outcome of the week for you if you just don't keep going around in those same little boring circles. Pisces, here are the cards that I've picked for you for the week that lies ahead. First card is the Page of Swords. Now, this card suggests that you've probably been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of talking, and maybe the talking hasn't always worked out well, because whatever you sometimes want to say and the way that you say it and the time that you say it can sometimes cause difficulties in communication. So you may be a little bit wary as you move into the week of how you're going to talk to people or what you're going to say. But the pages also speak about thinking. So think about your thoughts, and if there's something important you want to do, remember that you have a tendency to sometimes focus on the negatives or your fears, and you can worry yourself into such a space that you don't always communicate clearly, or that all you can do is speak about the things that bother you. So be prepared. Your intuition, you might even dream about things, but use the power of your mind to look at what you're feeling and see if it's really applicable or if it's just your crazy imagination driving you crazy. These two cards together suggest pay no attention to social media this week. Rather watch a funny movie, because you don't need anything that's going to depress you even more than what you normally can be. Here we have the Queen of Swords. Now, it's always nice to have the Page and the Queen of Swords around the moon, because the Queen says she uses the power of her mind. See, there's her sword. She thinks clearly. So while you may have been thinking about things, draw on the power of the Queen of Swords to think and speak clearly, so that you can get your point across in the most constructive manner. The Empress reversed here suggests that you can be creative, but when she comes up reversed, if you don't harness the power of your mind and refuse to give in to negative thinking, the Empress reverse says those thoughts and fears can just go haywire, and it can make you even more worried. So do be prepared for a tendency to want to just dodge the painful issues, but think about things. Don't fall into just living on social media, because whatever you see there is just going to make you feel worse. And dear Pisces, I think you deserve a chance to just put those fears to rest and call on the creative power of your mind to start planning something that'll be good for you and your loved ones. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to put the name of the sign that receives the full card in this reading into the comment box, and like and share, and who knows, maybe you'll be lucky enough to win a reading with me. Thank you for watching, and be safe.